Are
we ready?
live.
Okay.
Ready. Alright. Who here loves freedom?
Let's do freedom.
And who here loves America and our God-given rights?
America!
Woo! Barca.
Well, I'm here today to talk to you guys about how our freedom of speech is diminishing every day because of left-wing communists up in Congress who are trying to take away that freedom of speech. You know when you're watching television and images or words will be censored out? That's just the beginning to the death of freedom of speech. I've always paid close attention to the rights we as American people have, and I'm pretty outraged by the fact of these things happening. And by the end of this speech, you will all see the disturbing truth that America and its freedom is dying. The U.S. of A. was founded by the free for the free. But as I'm standing here before you today, our right to free speech is dying. For a classic example of free speech being suppressed, I present to you guys censorship. Now, according to hotair.com article, the censorship of all things Muhammad was applied by Comedy Central to a two-part South Park episode. Comedy Central blurred out images of Muhammad and even bleeped out his name. This was apparently because of terrorist threats that the show's writers Matt Stone and Trey Parker received. This censorship was carried out despite the writer's decision to include the images. This unwanted censorship killed the writer's right to free speech. Being politically correct has also hurt freedom of speech. An article from FoxNews.com about the 2009 Fort Hood shooting talks about how background checking investigators found emails to known Muslim terrorist leaders. These emails were sent by the doer of the horrendous deeds that day. But because of being politically incorrect by assuming the emails were trouble, the report went unfiled, and Hassan, the bad guy who did those deeds, was allowed to join the army, and after that, well, we know what happened after that. And finally, freedom of expression has also taken a blow because of these growing constraints against our freedom of speech. An article from the Huffington Post talks about an animal rights support group that was convicted of terrorist crimes for simply protesting against one of the largest animal testing facilities in the United States. In a secret and speedy trial, the protesters were labeled terrorists. When these protesters tried to bring this unfair case to the Supreme Court, justices in the Supreme Court dismissed it by saying, by choosing just not to hear it at all, which killed these American citizens their right to free speech. The United States was founded on a great morals and civil code. God-given rights were what every one of our founding fathers would die for. Unfortunately, that America will slowly die. First we lose our freedom of speech, then what? I ask you all to enjoy what free speech we have left, because in the future, we may be living in the United Soviet States of America. That's it.
Wow. That was amazing.